Heidi is with us. Heidi is all warmed up with one full glass filled to the rim, not with brim, but with Merlot. Let's give her, everybody, let's give her our attention. This is how we get everyone nice and quiet to the start of the program. Are you ready? Let's see. Watch and learn. Give Heidi a round of applause. Heidi, have you any times? Now, everyone, if you do it, please, let's repeat after me if you can right now with your, as nicely as you can to one another. Go like this. Hold on. On the count of three, repeat after me. It helps if we all do it. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. We're here to have an amazing fundraising celebration tonight, celebrating an amazing hospital, an amazing healthcare community, and an amazing community, all of you, one of you, each of you here together. It's often been said that each of us need all of us, and all of us need each of us, which is precisely why we're sold out with over 400 people here tonight. So friends, this stadium is used to big-time applause. This stadium is used to championships. This stadium is used to hearing you cheer. So if you would, just like we won the Super Bowl again, let's bring our leaders. We like to say everything rises and falls with leadership. So let's hear it for our CEO as loudly as you are able to cheer right now. Let's hear it for our CEO. It's Paul Hackney, everybody.
Well, thank you for the fake applause. I appreciate that. So before I get started, I just want to tell you, before I came up here, my throat was a little dry, so I was going to take a big gulp of water, and it turns out it was my wife's white wine, so I'm sorry if I drank the wine. Whatever that was. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Ring of Champions. We're thrilled to have you here tonight. It's wonderful to see this incredible community come together to celebrate, reconnect, and make a difference. We've got a fantastic evening ahead filled with great food, entertainment, and inspiration. Later tonight, we'll induct our newest champion to the Ring of Champions and hear from one of Signature's very own nursing director of critical care, the inspiring Sharon Randall. Ready, Sharon? Big expectations of the Before we get back to dining, networking, and catching up with friends, I want to take just a moment to thank the many people who made this night possible. This year's event is especially meaningful. It marks a major milestone for Signature Healthcare, the completion of our post-fire reopening. And throughout the evening, we'll celebrate the resilience, teamwork, and generosity that brought us together. We're back, stronger than ever, and tonight we celebrate all of you, our community that made this happen. First, I want to recognize our generous sponsors. You'll notice sponsor labels on their name tags. Please take a moment to thank them. Without their partnership, none of this would have been possible. A special thank you to Jumbotron, Auburn Construction, once again stepping up to show their incredible support. Later this evening, we'll have the honor of celebrating their CEO, David Kelleher, as our newest Ring of Champions inductee. And Jumbotron sponsor Rose Jewelers, new to us this year, and we welcome you to Signature Healthcare, and thank you for your support. We're also deeply grateful to our Super Bowl ring sponsors, Anania, Dave Keller, I know that, Plumbing and Heating, Anania, J&M Brown Company, and Signature Healthcare Medical Staff. Your ongoing generosity and partnership mean more than words can express. And of course, our gratitude extends to all the supporters here in this room. Thank you for supporting this event, for your sponsorships, individual tickets, or participating in the silent and live auction or the raffle. However you choose to do it, just know your participation truly matters. We're also proud to have more than 125 Signature employees with us here tonight. Thank you for all you do every day and being part of this special event. I'd like to acknowledge our Board of Trustees and the Development Advisory Board, a group that shows up time and again to support this hospital through every challenge and triumph. Please join me in a round of applause for their commitment and leadership. Together, we've already raised over $150,000. And yes, give yourself a round of applause. But we aren't done yet. We're looking to raise $200,000, so feel free to bid high and bid often and participate in our raffle. A huge thank you to Valerie Flynn. Where's Valerie? She's still working in the front. Valerie. Beth McNeil. And the entire development team for bringing this incredible evening to life. Please enjoy the food, the company, and the energy in this room. Take a minute to check out our silent auction and raffles conveniently located near the bar area. We'll gather again shortly for a brief program, so when you hear us call you back, make sure you have a full glass, grab a seat, and be ready to be inspired as we honor our next champion and hear from Sharon Miranda as well. Thank you all and enjoy the evening.
It's really important we do this. Hold on a second. We're trying to get everyone if we could. Hold on. And here's why. Here's why. Whether you know it or not, of course, the hospital is the center and the heartbeat of every community. People are born there, people end their lives there, people go through some of the biggest challenges of their life there. A community stands for sticking together, being there when you need someone. People who work at the hospital always show up for everyone else. So as we gather tonight, we celebrate, we love our staff and we love our community. We're here to raise money. I want to bring us to a point that we'd like to remember here tonight as we set the stage for just how important this hospital is. Let's listen to this.
Hi, it's Brockton Hospital. Hi, we have a smoke detector first floor. It's a fire alarm. It says boiler maintenance building A building.
So that phone call changed the trajectory of this hospital's future forever. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with all of you tonight, friends, colleagues, and supporters, as we celebrate the spirit of community and resilience that defines Signature Healthcare. Over the past few years, we have faced challenges that has tested every part of who we are. First came the pandemic, the greatest challenge to healthcare in modern times. Our teams worked day and night, caring for patients under the most difficult conditions imaginable. They showed strength, compassion, and courage when it mattered most. And then in 2023 came another test, a test you don't want to take. A devastating 10-alarm fire forced us to evacuate 162 patients and close our hospital entirely. Smoke filled the halls, alarms blared, and yet our staff acted with calm and precision. Every patient was evacuated safely. Not one injury, not one life lost. That is something I will never forget. The day revealed the very best of our whole community: nurses, physicians, technicians, facilities, and environmental staff, public safety officers, firefighters, and the people that got us through, all united by one mission: to protect our patients. And in the days and months that followed, another group stepped forward, those who helped us rebuild. our community stood shoulder to shoulder with us. Neighboring hospitals absorbed our patients. State and city partners offered unwavering support. And many of you here tonight asked not if we would reopen, but when. That belief gave us strength. After 18 long months of planning and rebuilding, in August of 2024, Brockton Hospital reopened its doors. When we reopened, we didn't just return to what we were, we came back stronger. A modernized emergency department with a 12-bed mental health triage unit, a new outpatient surgical center, a renovated lobby and patient areas, and the return of maternity and behavioral health, services that are the lifeblood of this community. Through it all, one thing remained constant: our independence. Signature Healthcare continues to stand strong as a community-based safety net hospital, serving Brockton and the South Shore for 130 years. That independence matters because decisions are made right here by people who live here and understand what this community needs. Of course, challenges remain. It wasn't until August 2025 that our final unit reopened and we were fully operational. But if we've proven anything, it's this: we know how to rise, we know how to serve, and know how to stand together when it matters most. Tonight, for our ring champions, we honor those who embody the very spirit of resilience, the people that helped shape this extraordinary chapter in our story. We begin with someone whose leadership was instrumental in our rebuild. When the flames were out and the future felt uncertain, one of the first calls we made was to David Kelleher, president of Auburn Construction. David and his team didn't just rebuild walls, they helped rebuild hope. For more than 30 years, David has led Auburn Construction, completing hundreds of projects across the non-for-profit and corporate sectors, including more than 100 for Signature Healthcare. But what he and his team did after February 7, 2023 truly defines who he is. Within hours of the fire, David was on site, walking through the smoke and debris, reassuring us that we would recover and that Auburn would be with us every step of the way. Because of that partnership and because of his steadfast belief in what the hospital means to Brockton, we stand here tonight, reopened, renewed, and ready for the future. I would like to invite Brian Backoff, Director of Facilities and Engineering here at Signature Healthcare, who worked so closely with Dave during those months, up to the stage to join me in presenting this award. Do you want to say a few words, Brian? It is now my pleasure to welcome Dave Kelleher as the newest inductee into the Signature Healthcare Ring of Champions.
Thank you, Bob. And thank you to everyone here tonight. It's truly an honor to stand before you and be recognized. I may not have grown up in Brockton, but having spent much of my life here, it's always felt like home. The people here, the sense of community, is something special. As most of you know, building isn't just what I do, it's who I am. And giving back to the communities that give so much to us is equally a part of me. So when the fire hit and the hospital closed, I wanted nothing more than to help get it back up and running for the community. The fire was devastating, but what I remember most isn't the damage, it's the people. When a crisis hits, it's not about titles or departments. It's you, it's me, it's us working together that make the difference. No one waited for instructions, everyone just jumped in. Because what came next wasn't a story about buildings, it's a story about human beings who refuse to quit. And that starts with Bob Matthew. Bob, your reassuring leadership and trust set the tone from day one. That spirit spread to every department, every crew, every hallway. You and your team at the hospital are the driving force. Shortly after the fire, someone suggested converting 2 existing off-campus spaces into 2 urgent care centers to supplement some of the lost services from the hospital being closed. Normally that process can take months. We were asked to do it in just 2 weeks. When I first learned of this aggressive plan, my first thought was, are they crazy? My second thought was, all right, let's do it, let's find a way. I don't know who was crazier. Everyone knew the community needed it, and fast. Workers were putting in over 100 hours of work, 100 hours each per week, working day and night, and in just over 2 weeks, those centers were open. That set the tone for how the team would approach the bigger challenge, rebuilding the hospital. Make no mistake, this was not a normal construction project. We started without plans, permits, or typical approvals. We were literally designing as we were building. Through it all, Brian Backoff kept the team aligned. With his leadership, we found solutions where no playbooks existed. You were the heart and soul of the construction team, Brian. Thank you. This project tested everyone. I never imagined I'd see something like this, but in the end, we got it done. Experts said it would take 2 to 3 years to rebuild. Some doubted it would ever reopen. Altogether, the rebuild represented over $90 million in construction costs throughout the whole hospital, broken down into roughly 40 sub-projects and more than 350 changes from start to finish. And yet, in just 18 months, the majority of the hospital reopened. The chaos of that fire brought out the best in everyone. I wish I could name everyone, but a few key partners deserve special thanks. Done, and Roger Keith Insurance, thank you for advocating tirelessly on behalf of the hospital. Jordan Stone, the Peregrine team, thank you for your incredible dedication and leadership as the owner's project managers. Andrew Brownback and the Smith Group, thank you for exceptional design and engineering work. John Ballas and the entire Auburn construction team, I couldn't be more appreciative or prouder of all of you for what you accomplished. Mike Booker and the J.M. Brown team, you perhaps had the most challenging job. You had to pretty much rewire the entire hospital, and you made it look easy. Thank you. Keith Iskander and Anthony Plumbing Heating, you played a critical... Let's do a round of applause for Keith, come on. You played a critical role by replumbing the majority of that hospital. Thank you. Joe Beadle, Jensen Hughes, thank you for your expertise in code and life safety. Paul Goldens Building Products, thank you for your knowledge and wisdom of doors and hardware. Christopher Luchetti and John Zikowitz and the Lero team, thank you for your design and engineering work at the urgent care centers. Tom O'Connor and the LMA team, Steve Wenzel and the Banner team, Jeff Ferguson and the West Sprinkler team, and all the other numerous subcontractors that worked on the job. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the City of Brockton for going above and beyond to help us succeed. This award belongs to all of you and to the hundreds of other people not here tonight who played a part in this project. You are all the real champions. To Val, Beth, and the Signature Development team, thank you for organizing tonight. You always do an amazing job. To my family and friends, thank you for your love and support. To my daughters Allison and Ashley, I love you both. To my wife Michelle, my biggest supporter through everything for 30 years, I love you. Building isn't just about bricks and mortar or blueprints. It's about people. It's about communities coming together, teams showing up, and everyone doing their part to create something bigger than themselves. And tonight, you have a chance to do the same. Every gift you give, every hour you volunteer, every hand you lend, that's how we keep building, healing, and strengthening the community. So I'll leave you with this. How will you step up, show up, and help write the next chapter of our community's story? So in other words, as Bob said earlier, get your paddles ready, bid high and bid often. Thank you.
Thank you, David, and congratulations on your induction. Your partnership and leadership helped us rebuild stronger than ever, and your unwavering commitment to this community continues to make a lasting impact. As we celebrate those who helped us rebuild, we also honor those who stood with us on that day, the people who met crisis with calm, courage, and compassion. They include our nurses, physicians, technicians, and support staff, public safety officers, and first responders who rushed in without hesitation to protect our patients and our people. Together, they're the reason every life was saved and the reason we gather here tonight, not to mourn what was lost, but to celebrate what endures our resilience. To represent all of them, please join me in welcoming Sharon Miranda, MSNRN, and Nursing Director of Critical Care, and most importantly, a lifetime member of the Signature Healthcare family, who is on the front lines this morning with her strength and spirit, embodying the heart of the hospital.
I brought my speech here. All right. Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here tonight, surrounded by the people who make our hospital and our community what it is. When I look around this room, I don't just see colleagues or supporters. I see family, because that's what we are at Signature. A family that has been tested in ways no one could ever have imagined. A family that somehow keeps showing up stronger than ever. I first walked through the doors of Brockton Hospital in 2009, full of nerves, similar to now, and hope. My sister was an ED nurse, and she told me, "You'll love it, it's different here." I gotta tell you, she was right. From day one, I knew this place was special. The people here cared for their patients and for each other like nowhere else I've ever been. Over the years, I've worked in med-surg, in the ICU. I've covered maternity, dialysis, respiratory. I've seen tears, laughter, heartbreak, and miracles, sometimes all in the same day. But nothing could have prepared us for what came next. First, there was COVID. Our hospital became a world of masks, fear, and exhaustion, but also of courage. I remember my ICU nurses would call me at night in tears, terrified to come in, and then every single one of them showed up the next morning anyway. They showed up because they knew this community needed them. That's what resilience looks like. And then, just when we started to breathe again, came the fire. I remember that morning like it was yesterday. I was walking into work, I saw the fire trucks pulling up. I thought, a fire drill at 7 a.m.? But a quick conversation with a fireman and an eerie burning electrical smell told me that this was in fact real. Within minutes, smoke filled the halls, the lights went out, the generator came on for a few seconds and then failed. Suddenly, we were in total darkness. Immediately, all hospital employees came together, moving our patients by flashlights, guiding them in their beds away from the smoke-filled areas. But here's what stays with me. It was calm. Not silent, not easy, but calm. No one panicked. The patients trusted us. They saw the nurses, the firefighters, everyone moving with purpose. They believed we would get them out safely. And we did. Every patient, every staff member made it out safely that day. I'll never forget an image of being surrounded by patients waiting to be carried out of the hospital to the ambulance and seeing them pass bottles of water down the line, patient to patient, helping each other. In that moment, it hit me. This wasn't just a hospital. This was a community in motion. After the fire, when we realized it would just be a week before we reopened, that it would be many, many months, our work did not stop. We set up emergency command center. We found ways to keep services going across the city so our patients wouldn't be left behind. We lent nurses and staff to other hospitals and facilities. We support each other the way families do. And when we finally came home, when those first patients were wheeled back through the doors, there were hugs, there were tears of joy, there was laughter. The walls might have been new, but the heart of this place never changed. Today, I feel both proud and grateful for our amazing staff and community, but also aware of how much work still lies ahead. We've rebuilt, but we're still restoring. We still need to invest in new equipment and specialized care, in modern spaces that reflect the quality of the patients inside them. We need to train more nurses, continue growing programs, and start new ones, and fight every day to bring world-class care to our community right here at Brockton. But we can't do it alone. Your support tonight, your generosity, helps us make sure that every patient who walks through our doors receives the care they deserve, close to home, from people who truly know and love this community. When I think back to that day, the fire, the smoke, the darkness, I remember a moment when a ray of sunlight broke through the lobby windows as we moved the last patients out. It reminded me that no matter what we go through, light always finds its way in. And that light is all of you. Our amazing staff, our neighbors, our supporters, you are the reason this hospital not only survived, but came back even stronger. Thank you for believing in us, for standing with us, and for helping us continue the work of caring for this community, our home. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, for reminding us what courage and compassion truly look like. Tonight, we've honored those who have helped us rebuild and those who stood with us when it mattered most. But there are many others in this room who lived that day firsthand, who carried patients, comforted families, coordinated care, and answered the call as first responders. If you're at the hospital on February 7, 2023, in any capacity, whether you were on one of the floors, in the parking lot, or in the command center, or if you had any part in the rebuilding of the hospital over the last 18 months, would you please stand so we can recognize you? It should be pretty much everyone in the room. Thank you. You are the heart of this hospital and the reason we're here tonight. Stronger, united, and ready for the future. And now, as we look ahead to the next chapter of Signature Healthcare's story, one defined by growth, innovation, and community, we invite each of you to continue to be part of it.